So what I thought I'd do now is to talk about some of these non-cognitive skills, aka performance character skills, in the context of what our goals are and how they were played out last year and what we're going to do this year. And I had mentioned the five different aspects of non-cognitive education, and we had begun with academic behaviors. So some of the things that we emphasize with regard to academic behaviors is the importance of organization. So how important it is to have all your notes together. We create a 5-section binder. It was amazing how many students had no idea how to organize a binder, and the great feedback we got about how it helped them in the year to keep their materials together, and how we saw some tangible success with just something as simple as a binder. We also talk about the organization of physical spaces. Since I'll be teaching a class on food science, we are going to focus on this French concept called mise en place, or everything in its right place. So you don't just jump right into a recipe, but rather you make sure you have your knives ready, you make sure you have your towels ready, you make sure that your food is measured out properly. Being organized, so important. Punctuality is also an important academic behavior that we emphasize. Not only punctuality as respect, being respectful for others, but also punctuality as self-respect. We talk about the importance of doing homework, and we talk about how important it is to participate in class, whether it be something more informal like a summer academic program or something more formal like the school year, and also what meaningful participation looks like in class. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk about, the second non-cognitive skill, is grit, tenacity, academic perseverance. Last year, we talked a lot about this idea of deliberate practice, how it is that athletes don't simply practice, but they have a plan. They think about how they are going to practice. They set goals for themselves. We talk about how scientists have done this. We talk about how saints have done this as well. And part of being gritty, of course, it doesn't require a lot of grit to show up for a 20-minute session for something, but it does require a lot of grit to simply graduate from school, let alone do a large project. So last year and this year, we focused the Summer Academic Skills workshop on a 3-week project, and we build up to that in an effort to teach the students, to teach your child that it's not simply a matter of having grit, but it's something that has to be learned, and it's learned through little steps. You might be wondering, what are the the capstone projects? Well, Andy will tell you about his. For ours, we are going to culminate our 3 weeks in our Summer Academic Skills workshop with a project at the Catholic Multicultural Center, where this team of students will construct and execute a meal for the needy on the very last day. Third very important part of non-cognitive skills involves academic mindsets. Defining yourself as a student. What that means is not simply saying, oh yeah, I'm a student, but actually taking pride in the fact that you are a student. One thing that we emphasized last year to a great degree, and we plan on emphasizing again this year, is the important distinction between what educational psychologists refer to as a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. Fixed mindset in for our purposes means an idea that, well, I'm only so smart, or these are my gifts, however God-given they are, but this is what I was born with. And this is what I have. Or I'm just not good at math. Or I'm not good at history. Growth mindset, by contrast, might acknowledge that. Says, yeah, maybe you're not good at history right now, But if you keep working at it, and if you recognize that your brain is malleable, like a muscle, right? You exercise your muscles, they grow. You practice a sport, you get better. It's the same thing with intellect. So crucial. And we will emphasize that quite a bit, as well as fostering some pride, not only in their role as a student's role as a student, but some pride in their role in the summer academic skills workshop. The fourth thing, learning strategies. What is the best way to learn? Well, there's all sorts of teaching strategies, but there are also many learning strategies, and we focus on those quite extensively as well. So many of these fall under the rubric of study skills. So last year, we focused quite a bit on how to take notes with a purpose. And we used a very, very successful system called the Cornell note-taking system that can be used for either taking notes from a talk or a lecture, or it can be used to take notes from a book, or it can even be used to take notes from an informal discussion. And what was amazing about this was just seeing this, how easily the students adapted the Cornell note-taking system, those who attended the workshop, into the school year from the get-go, right on the first day of September. And when we got our reviews back from the students at the end of the program, this was one of the things, believe it or not, that they enjoyed the most: note-taking. I know. I would have. Who'd have thought? Another technique. Even though the program is more informal, much more hands-on in the summer, we're still focusing on academics here. So there is reading. Your child will be reading. Yes, that's right. You'll be reading, not as much as you do in the school year, naturally, but you will be reading. And we focus on one of the classic techniques for this, the SQ3R, where you survey, you question, you read, you recite, and you review. Now, you can read about this technique and you can try and do it on your own, but it's really something that requires practice. So we learn actually how to do this in the summer program. Another very important aspect of these learning strategies that we emphasized last year and we will continue this year is goal setting, and how important it is to have a goal not just for the school year, not just for the semester, but to have a goal every week. And to make your goal put your goal under this framework that we worked on last year called SMARTS. So your goal should be specific. Your goal should be measurable. Right? If you say that, I want to do better in school, well, how are you going to measure that? Your goal should be attainable. You should be able to do it. Your goal should be realistic, and your goal should be time specific. And what we found working with the students last year is that too is a skill that needs a lot of practice. It needs a lot of feedback from the teachers, and that's what we did. Finally, in terms of the non-cognitive skills, there are the social skills, which are invaluable to helping students succeed in no matter what their intellect is in institutions like schools. So these include things like interpersonal skills that we work on with our team building exercise. These include the skills of empathy, which we work on during some of our spiritual exercises. And these also include the skills of gratitude. So we think about things like prayer, for example, as thanksgiving. In terms of the science and history of food, we think of eating as thanksgiving. We think of cooking as Thanksgiving. We have the students write a letter of gratitude to someone that someone who was important to them. And one time last year, we had one of the assignments was they had to spend a day. Every time they said thank you to someone, they had to then say what they were saying thank you about. And it was funny when we got the responses the following day about how they felt about that. They really felt good, and it really made them think about how often they said it and how often they said it without thanking someone for what they actually did, even if it was something as prosaic as "Thank you for opening the door for me," or "Mom, thanks for cooking dinner for me tonight."